This exclusive message at Expona is brought to you by MonAcoustic.
So I think the large Mon speakers are just amazing in sound and scale, but they also are very delicate in sounding.
This is my second time at the MonAcoustics because I just like them so much. That whole idea of taking apart that large tower, you know, for the price, if I understood it right, I just felt that it gave such a dynamic presentation of the soundstage. I mean, seriously, when I found out the price compared to some of the others I've seen at the show in that price range, I was really blown away.
It just seems like a completely different speaker when you add the bass module on the bottom. It's just such a fuller, more bigger, just a experiential image, if that's even a hi-fi word.
It just seems so tight that it's probably a step that I would take, even though I've been looking at stand mounts. So yeah.
Okay, so we are here at MonAcoustic's room at Expona with Young.
Hello.
So I have some really interesting news for MonAcoustic, right? MonAcoustic, the Platimon was the product of the year.
Yes.
And now they are bringing
The VC2. We launched today, and we're so excited about introducing our new product to everybody here at Expona, and it makes a great impression with the success of the Platimon VC1. And I think that we thank you all for introducing our VC1 to people through your channel, and the VC2 kind of perfects the sound of the VC1 and also the audio journey of many of the audiophiles who wants to tune their sound to their acoustic environments at home. So
now Platimons were not just a product that I showcased on my channel, but it was the product of the year right recently. So yes. I was really excited to hear about the VC2. Now I see a super tweeter with a waveguide and a woofer. Can you explain to me a little bit more about what the VC2 adds to the system?
Definitely. So VC2 is not just an ordinary bass extension of a bookshelf. So it's totally different from adding a subwoofer to a bookshelf. So what we are intent to show to our customers is that the VC2 is not just an extension, but also it completes. It introduces a completely new sonic acoustic signatures of a VC1 and 2 together. You can actually configure the setup as a 3.5 way in the back of the speaker, and then you can inherit the sonic signature of the VC1 and with a rich mid bass, and then adding the woofer and a tweeter to it as a 3.5. That way that you actually utilize the crossover of the VC1. But if you connect this speaker to a four-way, then now you have this crossover from the VC2 dictates the entire speaker as a floor standard. Now you have a very unique Platimon sonic signature. And also it comes with the harmonic tweeter adjustable dials in the back. And it's almost like having a DSP from the active speaker, but all in manual. So even though this is a passive speaker, you can turn it off, the harmonic tweeter, so you have no ambient sound or super tweeter that's acting in your room. Mm-hmm. And also from off settings, you get 5 extra settings, 2 super tweeter setups, and the 3 ambient setups, and that you can tune to your likings or choice of music. You just have to find out, what setting of this speaker actually suits your taste.
So what is the ambience exactly changing? Like, what is it?
So it gives the headroom, head spaces, it's more immersive, and the super tweeter setups, it gives you extra informations, and not just the ambient sound. So some sensitive ears, you can have very strong stimulations on your eardrums. And a lot of, especially whether there's a, when you're listening to very dynamic and fast and modern music, it could be very stimulating. It might be overwhelming, but like in that case, you can change to the ambient setting instead of the super tweeter setting, and the amount of the information gets lessened, and then you can tune to the immersiveness of the sound to your likes, and which it doesn't really hurt your ear. So.
I see. So now the woofer is also interesting because that's actually a driver that you guys designed.
Yes. So from the VC1 we have German drivers and an American-made tweeter, and we now on our VC2 the 8-inch woofer is our own design, produced in OEM style. So hopefully, from going on, we will be able to have some in-house capability of making our own units. Yes. So it will be a turning point for us.
And also it seems like there's a lot of flexibility with this speaker.
Yeah.
There's two different ways in counting to connect. To have the 3.5 way or 3-way.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And then you have the super tweeter adjustment and then the ambience adjustment.
Right.
So I guess the flexibility and all that. What is the price point of the VC2?
The VC1 speaker is $6,000. The VC2 is $11,000. So together it's a $17,000 a pair. But with the $17,000, you have 6 different sonic signatures that you're purchasing. So it really gives you a variety of sonic signatures, like buying multiple speakers.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense now because you can buy the Platimons for $6,000, and then if you really like the sound of the Platimons and you want more different sounds of the Platimon sound, then you can get the VC2.
Right.
So it's not just a subwoofer.
Our slogan that we're promoting with the VC2 is, ascend to the new auditory height, and that auditory height is coming from the harmonics, and also VC2 kind of gives more high-end sound. So it completes the Platimon virtual coaxial speakers, more versatile and all-round speakers that excels in every genre.
And a little bit more about the harmonic tweeter, as I'm curious. Why are you guys calling it the harmonic tweeter? Is it just a super tweeter that you guys are calling a harmonic tweeter, or what is the exact thing there?
The harmonic tweeter governs from like 25,000 hertz upwards, and the super tweeter and the harmonic tweeter. The reason why we call it a harmonic tweeter is, even though it's a high frequencies, it changes the characteristics of the bass as well in harmonics, and that the human ear level is so sensitive, that you can hear to up to 130 decibels of sound, and that means that that the human are capable of like 3 billion different sound stages of sonic sensories. So that level of sophistications, and our harmonic tweeter will stimulate your listening experiences to a different level. So that's why we call it a harmonic tweeter.
I see. So technically above 25 kilohertz, the human ears can't hear it.
No.
But we have sensed that when it does extend that high, we do hear spatial information and spatial cues improvements. And so you're saying that the harmonic tweeter basically affects the other fundamentals that's not in the extremes that we don't hear.
Right. That is exactly what we are saying.
Okay. Yeah. And again, another interesting thing about the speaker is the port design, from my understanding, right? So can you explain to me about the port design that's going on in the speaker?
Right. So the Platimon VC speakers series, with the VC1, we have dual port design that's really specializes in the horizontal dispersion and also depth of the soundstage. Same with the VC2, we do have a dual port at the bottom, and that kind of gives extra bass extensions, which goes down to 20 hertz. So it gives like full range experiences. And also, I talked about the connectivity options of 3.5 way versus 4-way connections. With the 4-way connections, you're not really utilizing the VC1's dual ports in the back. So it's utilizing the single port of the VC2 and the bottom port. And that's why it gives a different sonic signature from the 4-way versus 3.5-way.
Right.
So some people might think that, it's like, oh, we're losing the VC1 advantage of that mid bass, but again, that if you connect to the 3.5-way, you're not losing that signature. So
I see.
Yeah.
So it's either a 3-way floor standing speaker or
Right.
a 3.5-way addition of the VC2 to the VC1.
Right. So it's a 4-way or 3.5
Two
ways.
connectivity different options.
Exactly.
Right. And the difference is the mid bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also want you to buy more jumper cables. So that's.
Do you guys sell jumper cables?
I think we will in the future. Yes. I mean, it comes with the bundle cables.
Right.
And any bundle cables, some people are okay with it, and some people are not. But I think there's always the option of upgrading it too. So. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else that you want to tell the world?
Well, if you haven't tried our speakers yet, you're missing out. So at Expona, do come, and if you're not coming to the audio show, and do ask for demos and dealers, or just buy it and then try it. And if you don't like it, return it. So, but I promise you probably won't return it.
All right. That's very good confidence, actually. Also, if you don't know about MonAcoustic, and if this is your first time and you want to learn more, I have an entire coverage where I went to South Korea because they're a South Korean brand and covered them, interviewed the designer himself and all that. So check it out in the description below. And that's pretty much it from me. And thank you, Young.
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys on the next one.
So I think the large Mon speakers are just amazing in sound and scale, but they also are very delicate in sounding.
So this is my second time at the MonAcoustics because I just like them so much. That whole idea of taking apart that large tower, for the price, if I understood it right, I just felt that it gave such a dynamic presentation of the soundstage. I mean, seriously, when I found out the price compared to some of the others I've seen at the show in that price range, I was really blown away.
I think that the VC2 stack, look, having a stack myself where you have a bass module on the bottom and you have a 2-way on top, you're getting bigger three-dimensionality.
Yeah, I'm actually been given the carte blanche by my wife to find my end game system. So, I'm always curious about more intimate listening spaces and tower mounts like that. But it just seems so tight that it's probably a step that I would take, even though I've been looking at stand mounts. So.
It just seems like a completely different speaker when you add the bass module on the bottom. It's just such a fuller, bigger, just a experiential image, if that's even a hi-fi word.
And I understand that, a lot of it has to do with the placement in the room. These are very challenging rooms. But, I mean, everything I heard on it was well detailed. I'm trying to think of something else to say about it, but I mean, part of it is emotional. I just really like the sound a lot. It happened to be to my personal taste, as well as having a lot of clarity, but also you hear those harmonics from some of the string instruments and things too. So, whether they were playing the more technical things or, more traditional string music, I just felt it delivered a really strong sound.
I don't even know what the hi-fi nerds say about that, but just imaging and spaciousness and the 3D effects.
It was just so full range and sound. And it surprisingly, for such a large speaker, it didn't overwhelm the room, which was a very big thing. So they could be small in nature, and intimate, but yet large when you needed to. So I think they're a very great product.
I just came out of room 1126. We went in there to listen to Accuphase, but I found some great sounding speakers called MonAcoustic. They play really well, they look sharp. They had it nice cable setup, really cool little risers that look like something from a circus. I would definitely visit them again.
I didn't have anything to dislike about them, which is, for me, is a very positive remark.
The speakers are new to me, but I love AMT tweeters back from when I had a Mark Levinson Red Rose Music pair of stand mounts. And the mid-range and upper range beauty is just awesome, and it's very tight in there with the AccuPhase amplifier on the bass side.
I think they're very well balanced. They seem to be a great price and great product for the price also, you know. So I really love the speakers.